Hey y'all, welcome back to Sparkle and Trade. I know it's been a little bit of time. I know I took off last week to spend with my family. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. I hope your trading has gone amazing. I hope y'all been managing your emotions and all the things. Today, we are going to be talking about emotional management. If you're new to this channel is all about managing your emotions. I always share with you guys that my foundation is first learning how to trade. So if you don't know how to trade, there is a link in the profile bio. Sign up and learn how to trade. I use the Invest with Teri model. I think her model is easy and it's great. However, as a day trader, as a full-time day trader, I also know that managing your emotions is a huge part of this thing. And people might not realize it until they get into the trade. And it really does feel like you get on a roller coaster. Even if you do all the technical analysis, you are buckled in and you're just hoping that it goes in the direction that you want it to go into. But the reason why you have to manage your emotions is because a lot of times we have hope for what we want. There's no guarantee in the stock market. There's no guarantees. We can only have a way in and a way out. And knowing ourselves is key. Knowing yourself is key. If you are the type of person that has a lot of hope and trust and belief and just like, I believe it's going to come in my favor, you might want to have a plan of action before you enter the trade. I've also seen where people hear about a trade and before they can even manage their emotions, they're already in the trade because they have FOMO. Fear of missing out is a really bad emotional management tool. Actually, it is not an emotional management tool. It's a symptom of people in the stock market. They have FOMO. And when they get into bad trades, it's usually because of FOMO. It's because I didn't want to miss out. And so I just jumped into this trade and I jumped in so fast. I didn't do my own technical analysis. I didn't figure out anything. I just jumped into the trade because everybody told me to, where everybody else was. And we all lost. That happens. And so today I want to talk to you guys about, I'm going to be starting a series. Again, I told you this channel is all about managing your emotions. I want to give a shout out before I get started to Teri. She actually commented on my very first review of her course. So the very first video that I did about her course, just reviewing her course, giving an honest review for people out there that are looking to sign up for the course. She commented on the video. So I just want to say thank you, Teri. We love your course. And I know a lot of you guys have signed up for her course and you're coming back to my channel and we're going to go on this journey together. So back to what I was saying earlier, I'm going to be starting a series called Emotional Management series. And it's going to be in parts because I think we need to talk about some of the emotions that come up and how to best deal with them. I kind of hinted at this on my my worst trading day video. If you guys haven't seen, I posted a video called My Worst Trading Day. It was where I lost the most. I hit max loss, guys. It's not fun. You don't ever want to go there. And you don't ever want to go there. And I have not had a day like that since, thank God. And I don't plan on having a day. I learned a lot about myself and I just want to help other people not have those type of days either. So we're going to be talking about emotional management. Today, we're going to start with the emotion of grief. Grief. I hinted at this in that video of how I was feeling and the emotions that I was feeling. But when the pandemic hit in March of 2020, I stumbled across an article from Harvard Review, and it talked about the dark, heavy feeling that everybody was feeling. And it said, if you're trying to figure out what it is that you're feeling, that's grief. People were grieving their normal lives. They were grieving being able to go out and be and do all the things that they wanted to do. They're grieving their plans being canceled. Some people had weddings canceled. Some people had birthdays. My son's birthday was smack dab in the middle of the beginning of the shutdown. His birthday is at the end of March. He was turning, I believe, 2. He was turning 2. Yeah, he turned 2 right at the beginning of the pandemic. And so we had a nice little birthday party planned for him, canceled. Just this idea of high school seniors, people that are graduating from high school that year, canceled, like just constant proms canceled. And so the emotion that a lot of people were feeling at that time was grief. They didn't know that they were feeling grief though. They just knew that they had felt like a heaviness and like something like right here, sadness, right? That had came over them. And people only label grief when it comes to like somebody actually passing away, but you can grieve a lot of things. You can grieve opportunities, you can grieve jobs, you can grieve friendships, you can broken friendships, marriages, like if you got a divorce in a marriage. You can grieve hope, like maybe working hard for something, an opportunity that you was really working hard for that you didn't get. Grief shows up in many different ways, and that article really highlighted how grief was showing up in the pandemic. So I want to talk about grief and how I've seen it show up in the stock market. The stock market is what I consider a dichotomy of emotions. And on one hand, you can have great joy and happiness and like complete unbelief that your life is changed forever, and you've hit every financial goal, you surpassed all your generations, you surpassed people in your family, and now you are sitting pretty because the trades you got into went your way and it didn't take much effort on your part. And so this joy of excitement, like when I hit $1,000 in a day, wow, like that's just mind blowing to me. That it felt like I had stumbled across a secret of the world, like on how to be wealthy. And learning Teri's method, the joy and excitement of learning something that nobody else, like not a lot of people know. And actually it's just an easier path to wealth, in my opinion. Again, it's not for everybody. Trading is not for everybody, and there are other ways to get wealthy, but it's a great way, right? And so, I felt this joy. And then when I hit max loss, the grief that I felt, or even a day that a trade doesn't go in the direction I want to, the disappointment that I feel. So we're going to deal with disappointment another day, but today we're going to deal with grief, particularly grief if you had a really bad trading day. I don't think there are enough people on YouTube talking about their really bad trading days. That's why I posted my worst day of trading. I just want somebody out there to know that it's okay. You can survive it, and you can get back up, and you can keep on going. And so grief shows up in the stock market during these times of huge losses like I had. And I remember feeling that, and I knew that is what I was in. And the weight of that moment, I was like willing to walk away from the trade. Even I'm still in the trade, I still got money in my account, even though I had hit max loss. I could have lost more, right? And I had given up. Like I remember throwing my hands, just throwing my hands up, and that feeling of defeat, the feeling of sadness, can come over you. So you go from extreme joy, happy excitement about your future, about your kids' future, about your family's life change, to grief, sadness is a huge swing, right? And so we need to talk about the emotions that we experience when we have these losses and wins. And if you're not careful, you're going to not grieve long enough. Like, grief has to be processed. You either should have a counselor that you go to, sit down with, and talk out your grief. Like, why are you so sad? Like, I literally had to do that with myself. I'm a little counselor in training, so I knew what to do, but I do have a counselor that I go to as well. And I had to, talk it out and say, what is this that I'm feeling? What am I feeling? Like, why did this disappoint me so much? What did that mean? Like, the death of that trade, because it died. It died. What did that mean to me? Am I willing to risk this feeling again? And the answer was no, I don't want to ever feel that way. Okay, then what am I going to do to make sure I never feel like this again? That was more processing I had to do. What I see a lot of people do is either one or two things. They'll either have a bad trading day and give up on trading. They'll have a great trading day and keep on going and like get the big head. Look at what I got, or they'll have a really bad trading day and they'll do what I did, which I'm telling you guys, if you process your grief of a trade, you will be able to bounce back. What it looks like, processing your grief looks like, again, asking yourself some really difficult questions. What am I feeling right now? What did that mean to me? What did that loss of that trade mean to me? How do I make sure I'm not ever going to feel this again? What lesson did I learn? And then, do I want to continue? That's a real question, because to be honest with you, not everybody should. Not everybody should continue. Some people, it's not for them. It just determines like how much peace did it take from you and how long did it take for you to recover. So if you experience, and I said this in my other video, if you experience a really bad trading day or a trading day that just rocked your world, like the intensity of the emotion, you have to pay attention to the intensity of the emotion. Did I feel this deeply, like super deep, where I couldn't eat, or I didn't want to talk to anybody, or I didn't want to be around anybody? Like, the intensity of the emotion has to be processed, or you're just going to continue making the same mistake. And it's like you're going to go down like a spiral, trying to save something that's already dead. Like, the trade died, but if you're not processing the grief of that trade, then you're going to go back and try to save it with a little bit of change that you might have left, and you're going to lose it, because now you're functioning emotion instead of technical analysis. Because what technical analysis tells you guys is when to get in and when to get out. But if your mindset is, I got to save this trade that died, or I'm going to resurrect it, bring it back to life, then when do you get out? When is a good time to get out if you're trying to resurrect something that died? You have to ask yourself these questions, or you're going to find yourself trying to save a dead trade by subsequent trades after that. And it's just going to be a really bad situation. So grieve it by taking time. Don't trade. I know it's hard. I know you're like, I want to do this full time. I'm trying to go quit my job. Take your time. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. Take a break. I take frequent breaks from trading, guys. If I have the itch to trade, I go to my simulating account and I trade in there. But the money, I can lose it or not. If you're emotional one day, trade in your simulated account. See where you are. And that's a good test to see if I've grieved enough, or if I am emotionally able to do this enough. And let me try it in my sim account. And then get back to your live account. That way you'll know where you really are, in terms of the trade. And I still think you can't, to me, paper money and live trading are so different, but it gives you somewhere to start, and it scratches the itch of trading, because some people just have an itch. I just want to see what happens with this trade. I just want to get into this trade. That's what the sim account is for. But if you know that this is not a good trade, or you're not sure if this is a good trade, take your time, y'all. Just take your time. Just chill out, okay? So I wanted to share that with you. Give yourself, I think, if you have a huge trade, I would say take off as much time as you need to. I said it in the other video. Do something else. Go hug a friend. Go hug your friend or your spouse. You play with your kids. Go read a book. Like, focus on something else. Another goal that you have in your life. Trading should not be, your eggs should not all be in this one basket. It's not wise. So have other eggs in other baskets, like other goals that you want to accomplish, and go focus on building those goals, and then come back to trading later. But you have to grieve it, like process it, take your time out, give yourself some time away from it, and then decide if you want to come back. And if you do want to come back, you'll be much healthier, in a better place. You'll be in a much healthier place to come back and do the technical analysis. But the key thing, what did I learn, is a key question that you have to ask yourself. So that's what I want to share today. Another thing is, I wanted to talk to you guys about trading during the holidays. There are some things that you have to keep an eye out for. If you trade the S&P SPX, which is one of my favorite ticker symbols, is I trade the SPX 3 times a week. Vertical credit spreads, sometimes iron butterflies. But if you're trading during the holidays, the SPX, I think everything stops at December 31st. Just to let you guys know, the end of the trading year is December 31st. It does not start up again until January 21st. So when you are financially planning going forward, know that there is 21 days at the beginning of the year that you cannot trade. So don't expect to make any money from January 1st to 21st, or at least in trading, because you can't, it's not going to be there. What else? My next video, I actually was going to do it this video, but my next video is going to be talking about financial planning. And I'm going to be giving you some more tips on trading during the holiday, probably next week. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to be doing 2022 financial planning. This is a huge part of managing your emotions, but it's going to be a part of our emotional management series. So yeah, so that's it. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think? Do you think you've ever experienced grief during your trade? If so, share with us or in the comments below how that felt, how you got over it. You guys' comments, other people read your comments, so we can help each other out by sharing our stories, and hopefully we can help each other out. So if you had a bad trading day, how did you get over it? If you haven't experienced that yet, are you afraid to have a bad trading day? Is that what's keeping you in your sim account? Is the fear? Well, let's talk about it, because I'm here to support you guys, and I'm telling you, you can make it. You can get back up. If I can, after losing as much as I did, and I'm still here today, and I've learned a lot, you can too, and you could be successful at doing it as well. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. I'll see y'all next week. Sparkle and trade.